everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're back today with another episode of The Long March. We've got the cast and crew back here today, all except from Louise, who'll be back next week, fear not, to play more games in A Long March. Everyone's favourite game in which we get thrown around by purple worms in the Underdark. That's the one. It's super specific, it's super niche. People keep going back for more, though. We got Josh with us today. Josh, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I've just planned the next episode where you will be standing on bucket stilts to protect yourself from various different threats that will occur in the world, good. And jumping in the air and maintaining being in the air to also help protect you, because as we found out last episode, stuff like that works to protect you from subterranean creepy crawlies. Yeah.
That's right. That is the best way to protect yourself. Do this at home, kids. We also have Laurelani with us today. Laurelani, how you doing?
Wait for it. Yeah.
There you go. Nailed it.
Boom. Who would watch this for 15 months?
Has it been 15 months? Fuck me.
Dude, holy shit,
Whoa.
We're coming up on 2 years of knowing each other. That's insane.
That's far too long for us to know each other, isn't it?
I know. I figured we would have had some sort of huge Twitter fucking battle.
We should have some huge breakout soon, some big fallout. Yeah, let's get that publicity, that drama alert.
Yeah, let's go. Keep straight. We're on the way, buddy. I'm doing great. I slept and I'm not hungover, and I think that is an accomplishment in and of itself when you live in Las Vegas and you're under the age of 40.
Pretty. Talk to us a little bit about Zune.
Dark elf, very all about herself, very brooding, interested in science, and has a small fascination with killing her party members in her imagination.
Nice.
Most specifically, Gavin, recently.
Well, speaking of, Tosco, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, and, after beating the purple worm last time, apparently we're having our second baby because I'm at 18 months.
Whoa.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
So, it's how did that happen? Anyway, nice. I'm playing Gavin, who is our paladin of St. Cuthbert and cleric of the Raven Queen, and we found that seems like he has been somewhat changed by some events at the end of last season with his relationship to St. Cuthbert. Who knows where he stands with ye old Raven Queen? So we will see as we move forward. Weird things. Things are weird right now. So who knows?
That's right. Long March Season 2, things are weird now, is the strapline, yeah. As for myself, I'll be playing Gregor Tuscanu, everyone's favourite dwarf warlock fighter, with a temper and a beard. And now, thanks to my wild magic surge from Isriva, my skin is the same colour as my beard. So... No, wait, no, not... Well, yeah, its caster's skin is suddenly the colour of his hair. So now my skin is red, because Gregor is red-headed.
Or invisible.
Or invisible, depending on where you go with that. My skin is either invisible or red.
Your skin is invisible?
Oh my god, you're a big scarred mess. You don't have hair.
Ooh, that's gross if that's the case. But yeah, that's who I'll be playing today. We just had a couple of donations to get through here as we begin today's game. So we'll start rolling off on those ones for you guys. Charis has given me a roll on the table of bad things. Thanks, Charis. I appreciate it. It's really fucking made my day. And Isriva is giving 4 wild magic surges to Scab, which I suppose, Josh, you could roll. 1 for Kazna and... one for Zune and 1 for Gregor. I've rolled mine, so we got Zune and 4 for Scab. And I will look up my table of bad things here. But as I do so...
Literally, you have a table of bad things?
Yeah, not all of them are bad.
That's the monthly table.
Monthly table.
Curses wasn't bad
he stopped being creative with it. It's not like curses or pets. It's just... Here's a table of stuff that hates you.
Man,
makes you worse.
We hit 20k. There's no need to be inventive and creative anymore. We just call it as it is, Table of some bad things.
I like the interface so that you just literally press the button and it tells you how horrible it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh my... Damn it. Okay. I got a 41 on the table. A 41 on the table reads, a meteor lands nearby. It's really fucking great. Really fucking brilliant. Good.
Wait, we're underground though. Fuck you, dude.
It's okay. There's no seismic activity that is caused by a meteorite hitting the Earth underground in caverns. Nothing bad could happen from this.
This is fine.
You are in jail. You're in timeout.
Yep, not allowed. But as we go into today's game, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about our sponsors, D&D5E, sponsor all the shows here on Encounter Roleplay. Lovely guys, they've got some new dice in, some of them metal. They've also got some beautiful dice trays. You get 5% off when you use the coupon code Encounter Roleplay. I just saw some folks on Twitter had gotten their dice in, and they're really happy with them today, so that is fucking awesome. Also, you can interact with today's show. Of course, if you haven't followed, hit the follow button and join us. Here's a tweet for you guys, 20 retweets, viewer decision. Screw with us, help us out from this fucking meteor, which is about to kill us all. And of course, donate to affect the game, good or bad. Give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, send meteors crashing down on their heads to kill them when they're having a good day. Other than that, though, I hired over to Josh to talk about what happened previously on the Long March.
Okay, so, right, I need a little help because I just rolled a lot of stuff.
I will look up these wild magics while you do this.
You look those up while I'll do some recap. So last episode, you guys found yourself at the beginning of the episode witnessing what was essentially an execution. You came to the city of Thel, where you guys have been hanging out in the Underdark for a little while now, and sort of totally friends with these people, totally not being held hostage or to ransom or anything like that from this underground society. No, everything's all good. Yeah, some terrorist attack. You went and fucked up their day and then followed them, and you found that they had a small outpost in a nearby cavern. And having tracked them down, you found that one of them had been infected by an intellect devourer, which is basically a brain with 4 tiny little legs. It's adorable. It's like the cutest thing ever, and it's just so squishy and lovable and fluffy, and it will eat your fucking brain and crawl inside and then be you. It retains all of your knowledge. They're nasty fucking things, and if you were asleep, they are literally your worst nightmare because they can just jump in your brain. It kills you but puppets you around, and they found out that one of the guys...
Everybody knows what one of these are. You're just trying to fuck with me now at this point. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what an intellect devourer is. Cool. You're just trying to give me nightmares now.
Exactly. So just literally when you're asleep, they just crawl in through your ear, into your brain, and eat you from the inside all as well. With suction noises. It's beautiful. But anyway, these creatures are like the boogeymen of the Underdark. They are really nasty. And one of the terrorists who came back from bombing your town of Thel came back and was like, you know what? He's not right. They figured out that he was super nasty and had one of these things in his brain, and they firebombed the shit out of him to kill him and the creature when it escaped. And you guys came down, and bad things happen. And yeah, you guys came down to meet with these guys. Figured, we'd figure out what was going on here. You had some big charade going on, and then they rumbled you and realized that you weren't actually friends of theirs. You were from the city of Thel. And just as that sort of came to a head, a purple worm attacked. These people were woefully unprepared with some terrible countermeasures to purple worms, being that don't stand on the floor, therefore stand on tiny little pogo sticks, and therefore you're not on the floor. The floor is lava. This is totally not a kid's way of dealing with it. This is science at its perfect, most refinedness, which didn't work at all. For future reference, that does not work. That's not how Tremor Sense works. And they got themselves eaten up. Gavin and the boys absolutely wrecked face, killed this purple worm. It was beautiful. And everything was you made nice with these guys. And you found out that it turns out the people that you have been shacked up with, who currently have Kasner and Scab, may be a huge underground hive mind of intellect devourers, and their parents, which are illithids, or known as mind flayers. So very bad things await for you when you get back. They still this raises a load of questions, and to top it all off, they have one of the people from the town prisoner, who is none other than the one-eyed, crazy drug addict man that you met, who got your explosive collars off. And he was a pretty chill dude, and he's still pretty chill despite the fact that he's in a tiny little cage and is about to be executed. You guys are having a conversation. Everything is all good. We're going to pick up from about there. Plugs, hooks. That's the one.
We've done those, but we can go through the surges here.
Words,
We
things.
can go through the wild magic surges here that Scab got. I put them up in chat for you.
So Scab has all shields within 50 yards are impervious to harm until sunset. Damn, that's pretty dope. How do you know when it's sunset underground? Good question. Target ages 1d4 years each time he's cut by a claw or fang. He's a vampire. He has claws and fangs.
Oh dear.
You know.
He's gonna get pretty old.
Yes. Missiles fired nearby crash like thunder when they hit.
Or like meteors.
There we go.
That's great. We just went
Right.
from one meteor to several.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, Scab.
Good one, Scab.
And caster's next spell affects only half of its intended targets. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And also, yeah. And we have, oh god, is that Laurelania?
Yeah,
Oh.
Zune's wild magic surges there are pretty good.
Yeah, Zune. Target is identified as the leader of some bizarre cult, and when target next spills blood, he vanishes for 1d4 days. Okay.
Start her new
Wow.
cult.
To start her new cult,
To
yeah.
start up business.
I really like that. That's actually perfect for my character.
Indeed. That's oh god.
I don't know.
Okay,
That
right.
seems really out of character to me. I veto this.
she's such a chill, nice person.
All I really do is try and take care of other people and not help myself. Like
Uh-huh.
that's really what Zune is known for.
That's what
that's
cults
your
are.
whole MO.
Her charitable work with children.
So,
Children's bodies parts.
exactly. So we will pick up you guys. Pretty messed up purple worm. Yes, Laurelania.
Had thought that we had said that we were going on a long rest at the end of last session. Did that not happen? Because I'm pretty sure I volunteered to take first rest.
I
think
don't.
literally mid-interrogation.
Okay.
I think it comes. Yeah, you guys.
Maybe
were
I
deciding-
dreamed
Unless you're
that.
like- if you
Maybe
guys
I
wanna give
dreamed
this
that
whole
then.
thing of, oh, leave him alive because I want to experiment on it. That remember me with the face
I
palm?
remember that, but I
He's a
thought
necromancer.
after
That's
that.
all I've got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I must.
that was literally
Now
your
I'm,
words.
now I'm having long march dreams. That's scary. That's really
Fine. At least you're dreaming of the long rest.
That's normal, right?
yeah.
Much, yeah. So yeah, you guys are currently standing around a cage, which is probably the size of sort of a dog cage, probably about as clean as a pretty nasty Underdark slavery dog cage, mangy sort of thing. And inside is a figure who is essentially sort of wearing sort of a headscarf that is wrapped around, covering one eye, and sort of draped around like a traditional scarf. And he is wearing some very strange clothing. Which is mostly torn up and stained and burnt in places. Very grubby, very frail and old-looking, sort of like has that horrifically leathered face that, you know, at that point, like just call it a day, dude. Like you must be ancient as all hell. And he is, yeah, in a cage, and they are basically telling you that you've got a small amount of time with this man before they execute him for being part of the horrible creature sort of hive mind of House Fell, which they've just come back from trying to blow up and also steal medicine from. So that's pretty much where we are. So yeah, what you guys have had a little time to.
We
think
were all
through your-
involved in this conversation, correct?
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
We were all involved in this conversation, correct?
Yeah, you
Yep,
are.
we're all around.
Zuna has just returned from bottling some vials of poison that she has attuned from the purple worm. Particularly nasty stuff.
Very hard to get out too. I'm
Yeah,
masterfully dexful.
Yeah, indeed. I'm impressed. So,
yeah, I kind of look at the man in the cage and to Gavin and to his captors and look at my dwarf friend who is now a very strange color or has invisible skin.
It's happened
Gregor.
sometimes. It's a skin condition.
I say, you know what? We'll flip for it. Yeah, heads or so 1 or 2 for the. I feel like
I'll go for 2.
2. Wait, what do you want? I don't actually know. What do you
2.
want? Do you want red skin or?
I want invisible translucent skin, to be honest.
Oh god, that's
It's
so
a
gross.
1. It's you have horribly
Kidding.
red.
I wanted red skin.
Good. You have the most red, virulent ginger skin.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've spoken to my dermatologist about it, but there's nothing we can do until we get back, above ground.
He ran out of day and night moisturizer serum.
Too many fucking carrots and not enough day and night moisturizer serum. Deadly combo. We call it the Wumbo combo back home.
I didn't know that dwarves were into skincare.
It's a big industry, Zune. It's a big fucking industry.
You missed your call. You wanted to make money and influence.
There was a time, Zune, where I was close to launching my own brand, but didn't work out, of the whole big fucking war.
Sometimes I forget how many years you've been on this planet, good dwarf.
Well, there's a rumour has it that he who is touched by the ginger skin will shortly be near a meteor.
Hello?
Oh, I keep fucking... I don't know why my intake keeps coming out at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a rumour that says, he of the ginger skin will soon be met by a meteor. Yeah.
That age-old saying. Literally, they warn you about it. If you ever go to one of those beauticians in department stores,
Can I make some sort of history check just to see if he's full of shit? Okay, or
I feel like I'm about to be proven right.
on 6, Zune, what are the chances of Gregor being right? I mean, come on. On a 6, bullshit. You have to call him on this. You have to publicly say, Gregor, there is no way that ginger skin leads to meteor strike.
Gregor Tuscan I am Zune Vandry of House Vandry, and I was provided the highest education possible, and I can tell you with absolute certainty and clarity that there is absolutely no way that there is a dwarf with red skin who will bring meteors to the planet.
I will quote you on that.
Pause! We cut now to an above
Earth.
The sky above.
where there is a dwarven god just looking down, just like,
Moradin is like, fuck
no,
this girl.
Drow's gonna fucking tell me what to do! And just pelts a rock at the planet. There's going to be an extinction level event because of your bullshit.
the divine sense just happened to be passing over this part of the Underdark. He was like, what did she fucking say? Oh, hell no.
I teach you.
Okay.
So, sorry,
Should we be bracing for him?
Yeah.
There is a
We hear
sudden tremor. You just hear a tremor, and feel it sort of, and you see all around you people grabbing their pogo sticks and getting up on their pogo sticks because the ground is shaking.
That's not going to.
that never worked.
This has never been a thing.
So everything starts rumbling.
There is a slight rumble throughout the entire cavern. It's notable throughout. Stuff happens.
Probably another purple worm. I say, narrowing my eyes ever so slightly.
Yeah, probably. Might get the vomit in his mouth. Vomit in mouth.
So Aquila looks at you guys.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about Aquila.
This literally.
Wait, I thought last we saw she was
Aquila is a dude.
Aquila, that's right. That's the name of the guy with the quills.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There is Aquila. Aquila looks at you
these guys.
guys, fucking confused. Watches like all of this diorama unfold, including sort of the one-eyed man, sort of like just watching you guys with fascination. This is incredibly entertaining to watch. The drow and the dwarf argue, and the human just sinks slowly into his own depression.
Yes. Despair.
Didn't this guy last week, didn't he tell us about, a way to fucking get down to the place we want to go, and the other guy told us how to avoid the intellect devourers, which was using that spell. What Gavin might need to learn.
Yeah, there is that small issue of the parasites that are rife throughout the city you are trying to approach that I know how to combat, but obviously I am condemned to die now, so I can't be of any assistance.
Fair enough.
Can I do like an
hard
insight on Aquila if we've got any chance of getting this guy out of here?
Can I do a sleight of hand to see if he? Oh my God, Beth is the greatest. Beth, come please.
I brought peanut butter,
God damn it, Ken!
jam,
God.
and pancakes. I have peanut butter
so
jelly
jealous.
pancakes.
You were doing too well. Ken Hyde, £10 donation, double surge on Will.
Yes.
What have I
Nice.
What have
What
I ever
kind
done
of-
to you, Ken?
Just a surge? Like what kind of surge?
Just a surge. Just you want to just
Just a taser
just a little-
surge.
just a fucking taser. just someone walk
taser-
in
just
and
taser
fucking
Will.
taser me, please. Yeah, that's what this day has been like.
Ooh,
Nine.
that's a high one.
Whoa,
960.
dude, that's fucking scary,
The
yo.
high ones are always scary.
9,960. The target point is encircled by bright red plastic cones. It's the landing pad for the meteor.
One of them is not without mercy. Meteor strike imminent here.
Oh my god. I also suffer intense pain whenever I use divination magic. Well, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Okay, whenever you try and predict a course of action, you get a headache. So like if you try
I start
and
getting
think
a really bad
things
headache.
through, you try and think your actions through, it's gonna go badly for you. So you must just act. It's gonna
there
change Gregor entirely.
There are another 2 magic surges for Scab now from Isreaver.
Oh damn!
Damn it, Isreaver,
Okay.
that's my fucking son! Oh my god, it's Red Dwarf. I'm Red Dwarf! how have I not seen this before? Now I can make unlimited Red Dwarf references, yes.
Oh god.
This is really winning D&D, guys. This is how you win.
Indeed.
Can I do a sleight of hand check? Try and sign a few, like, do you understand this to the... What is the man in the cage's name again?
It's just known as the one-eyed man.
Dude,
To the one-eyed man?
yep. Go for
Can
it. I want to I want to perception it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You are literally sort of standing near her. See this. 18, not bad. That's a fucking, considering you got a +1.
Damn
Oh,
you!
like-
Gavin! Bjorn!
Hog
like
fucking
a
champ.
bitch, Zune Vandry, like a bitch. So what is it? Do you just say like, do you understand?
Yeah, do you understand? Or hello, or something like just a quick kind of like under the arm flash of my hand.
The old,
Okay,
the
so
old
then-
under the arm flash.
Right,
Am
so
I right, guys?
Do I see it?
you do indeed.
Zune.
Yes, Gavin.
Zune. It's
Gavin.
an intellect devour. It has telepathy. Just think real loud. It'll get the message.
That is true. You
Everyone
say that out loud.
turns to look at Gavin.
I just kind of reach out a hand on his shoulder and go, why didn't I think of that?
So, Will and Squall, do me a favor.
Oh no.
While you're looking up stuff, can you take your headphones off for a minute?
Okay.
Yes. They are gone.
So, there is a slight chuckle in just behind your ear, it feels like. Nothing more.
Well then, it seems I'm not as educated as I quite remember.
Yes, you are. You have just not experienced this part of the world.
Compliments will get you everywhere. Now then, do you understand deep speech? Is telepathy all languages?
Telepathy, if you... so telepathy, he can make himself understood.
I was trying to see if he could decipher the spellbook for me. Trade. Getting me the spellbook and getting him out. No, I think all this stuff.
Give me a history check.
8. History is not my best subject, apparently.
Wow, there is something that you are missing that is very obvious, but you can't recall what it is.
Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten something incredibly important? Something that feels like it's just on the tip of your memory.
Think again.
There was a pause, and then I am an intellect devourer linked to a nearly unending mind. No. My predecessor, however, yes.
It's a sensation that you should experience.
Naivete is somewhat underrated.
I still haven't decided whether I'm going to attempt to free you or not. I don't quite see what's in it for me.
You have a desire for knowledge.
In which you have endless amounts of. However, I also have an entire group of people that would put us both to death. And I am not rejuvenated enough on my spells to get us out of here. You'll have to wait.
Quite a conundrum you find yourself in.
That are nearby. What a quandary.
Oh dear. You've missed something. Something obvious.
Yes, which is exactly what I was saying a few moments ago.
No, that was simply you're lacking to see the... It does not matter. The more pressing thing is that you see your two problems as separate.
Is this an Elhoon that we are going to face?
It was.
It was? It was? I'm sorry, but there are only a few other things that ascend the hierarchy of undeath beyond Alhoons. Are you telling me that this is a demi-lich? A Dracolich?
An Alhoon is, in essence, someone like me. A magic practicing illithid. But some illithids who practice magic seek to specialize in certain schools of magic. Schools you share.
Just a plain intelligence check to see if what the fuck he's talking about? Come on! It's my highest stat!
It is a creature who shares one of your greatest ambitions.
My head seems incredibly muddled. There must be something about this part of the Underdark that is inferior. The magic, the air. I need time to clear my head.
You do not have time.
Then what would you suggest? You've had nothing but time.
I would suggest enjoying every moment. You never know when they could come to a fleeting end.
How very cryptic and brooding and dark. For someone who's in a cage, who's destined to die.
And so are you.
I will live forever. I will live forever.
Not if somebody else beats it to you and decides that you are treading on their turf.
At this point, I just kind of turn on the cage and just tell me what you know, and I say it out loud.
Okay. Headphones on. As we are dropping the subtle tactics entirely out the window.
Yep, no, he's fucking with me, and he's the one in the cage, and I have people outside. I will poke him with sticks.
I love that, yeah.
I will.
So, you guys, is Will back?
He did be right back.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, so, out loud, Zune says...
Tell me what you know!
Very, very loudly and aggressively.
I spin on my heel and walk away from the cage in frustration, ashamed of myself for having an emotional outburst.
I look at Zune. Was there sort of like a pause there, or did time pass where both of them were silent?
There was, there's no... You just have to sort of think a sentence and it's there, so it's...
Yeah, my thought process, I'd assume with an intelligence of 19 is pretty quick.
Yeah.
So maybe 20 seconds.
Lull in the conversation.
Yeah, by the time I put my hand, kind of stare out off into the distance, and I don't have a lot of experience with telepathy, kind of slowly dropping my hand, turning for a few seconds, looking at him, looking frustrated. Tell me what you know. And then she just kind of looks at Gavin like, I showed way too much emotion for that, and just kind of walks a few feet away.
Well,
What the fuck
Gavin,
is going on here?
Which was Gavin.
Is it fucking meteor coming?
A read on the Aquila to see if there's any chance that he's going to set aside hatred so that we could maybe use this guy as our guide.
This guy looks ready to barbecue the fucking lot of you at this point.
I was going to say, I barely have it out for myself.
You've all gone up in his estimates, and then you have told Zune to communicate with this fucking monster through telepathy. Zune has tried to spare it, and Gregor, who wouldn't want to kill Gregor?
Right. Yeah, no, I was saying it more to be a snarky ass than necessarily telling her to communicate with it telepathically. But, I think at this point, I've still got to try to save ourselves, seeing as Necromancer, other than him taking pity on me, didn't go over well. I've got that... Aquila, do you know of any way to control these creatures? Could it prove invaluable to us, but if it is too big of a risk, I defer to your judgment, but... We are going a place you say we are doomed to enter. Our success would be a success for you as well.
He looks at you and almost sarcastically swirls one of these vials of what is alchemist fire at you when you ask for a way to control it. But he is... The longer this conversation is allowed to continue, more and more people seem antsy about the fact that this conversation is even being allowed. But he keeps giving the one-eyed man a very confused, quizzical, disbelieving sort of look, and says, I have never known them to not abandon a vessel.
When trapped like this. Do you have his sphere? You probably found him with a sphere of white solid.
The one-eyed man perks up, looks very, in one eye, staring intently at Aquila, who looks a little perturbed by it, and people tense up, and bottles are raised, but no one actually does anything. And he looks at two guys who look at each other and then sort of look around in all the chaos. One of them spies what was a tent that's sort of been destroyed, goes over, lifts up the canvas, and from inside pulls what is essentially a Hessian bag that's crammed full of stuff. And they empty it unceremoniously onto the floor, and there is some, you see stuff break, stuff that was made of crystal and glass, probably some alchemical supplies and bits and pieces. But from there, a small powdery puff of white, and something rolls free, and they look down at it, looking somewhat confused.
Well. I can tell by your confusion, you're unaccustomed to this. I think we might have a first. I walk over and pick up the sphere, because it only reacts with heat, if I recall. So it's not like a contact high. We have ourselves an intellect devourer who has a drug problem. He's addicted.
He looks up and says, you said drug problem as if it is a bad thing. It's not
I'm
my
sure you
body.
can quit any time.
He gives
He's
you
got
a
a
wry
point.
smile with blackened gums and a few missing teeth. But there is a slight pained expression there.
Well, two things. He who controls the sphere controls the devourer, it would seem. Perhaps this one could offer you some intelligence as well to have more successful raiding of your neighbors. And then perhaps could some give us some aid on our journey to the capital.
I wait with bated breath to see how this plan goes.
Roll me a persuasion.
Can I assist?
I'm gonna channel my Miguelaboo.
You can assist by
26.
You can assist by shutting up soon.
That's I was like,
Yes.
I can just yeah.
I got a 26.
There is quite evident division amongst the people on this. Some people are paying attention, other people are just angry that you're talking. But Aquila seems to fall in the camp of someone who, A, realizes that they are hilariously outpowered, outmatched, outnumbered, and potentially soon to be outmaneuvered. And he looks, and sort of behind, just visible past the curve of the purple worm's corpse, there is a small group that have been piled together, which make up the dead and those who are beyond saving. And he looks around, and there are a lot of angry people, but past those are a lot of exhausted and tired and desperate faces of people who aren't capable of putting up much of a fight. And then he looks to the beady eye, which has been transfixed with the sphere since it was raised from the bag and is now held in Gavin's hand, and he gives you a long, calculated look of a man. He gives you a look which you might not recognize at first, but it's one you've worn on many occasions, Gavin. It is a man who is caught between a shitty situation and something probably worse.
Yep. That's a look I know. Unfortunately, I basically go to hand him over the sphere. It's all you've got.
I'm
Echoing
surprised
my
that he
words
hasn't.
from the last session.
I'm surprised that he hasn't tried to escape sooner, just out of madness and desire for drugs. It's interesting.
Madness. You
Well,
misinterpret entirely. I just enjoy experiences and the general taste of life. There are so many things to take in, so many sensory pleasures and someone walks up to him and stabs him in the foot with a knife through the cage, and he just looks down, mildly perturbed at the damage that has been caused to his vessel, but he doesn't seem to react in any pain whatsoever, and he stops talking.
I thought the drow were adept torturers. I say, turning an eye on the human, attempting to make it feel guilt and remorse.
The human doesn't pay you any attention. The human is very much will stab more if you keep talking.
Looks like we're in a bit of a deadlock. A classic dwarven deadlock.
Even though we saved their lives from the purple worm, it doesn't seem that we are very welcome here.
No,
Perhaps we should just abandon them to their cause.
They were jumping on their own fucking pogo sticks. That seems to be the solution to most things.
Your own intelligence will be the end of you. You have quite capable people here, willing to assist. Together we are stronger, including that one's mind. It's simple logic.
We want to
Put
go
aside your emotions and what has happened.
Exactly. For once, I agree with her, and that's a very dangerous thing, you know. Because when we put our minds together, I've got the looks, she's got the brains. And Gavin, he's got food. He's got a lot of food on him. That keeps us going for a long time.
As people turn to look at you, Gregor, you're giving an impassioned speech. 6 stalactites fall from the ceiling and embed themselves in a neat little octagon or hexagon around you. They are orangey red cones that just bury themselves in the ground around you. And people suddenly look at you. All of them miss. Give me a perception check.
Also, what was I think we've got 2 wild magic surges for Scab we can roll up here. Let's see what my perception is.
Yeah. Okay, right.
I'm not Gavin, I'm Gregor. There we go. Perception of -1, 15.
Okay, someone throws something at you, and it hits the top of your head. As you cast a look around, you notice that no one is looking at you. No one looks like... Everyone's doing that ridiculous thing, Gregor, where they try and feign that they're not paying any attention, that it totally wasn't them, by sort of whistling tunelessly and staring up at the ceiling. Like,
Jump on a pogo stick real quick, yeah.
Yeah, except none of them are whistling, but they are all staring at the ceiling. In fact, they're all looking at the point directly above you. And as you look up, there is a glowing orb of sheer red that is smoking and currently suspended in the ceiling right above your head.
Can I roll a perception, or is it like...
Yeah, everyone is now looking.
I feel like this should be something fairly obvious.
Gregor's like, Zune, you're gonna want to take a look at this.
Nat 20.
On a nat 20, you entirely realize that the universe hates you, Zune. For a meteorite has indeed struck.
What's that, Zune?
That's
like a
not
meteor.
Possible.
And yet, it is there.
And yet, I say, turning my head down, looking at it, and yet, there's a reason the fates have brought us together, I suppose.
You can
Perhaps
say it. You can say it.
Learn from you.
I was right and you were wrong. You can say that. That's the most important thing right now. Not escaping
Okay,
the meteor.
everyone give me a dex check, because no one's moved.
The 3 for these wild magic surges. Scabs.
Well, I thought it was embedded up there, not that it was falling.
Okay.
No, it's pushed its way down. It is now hanging in the ceiling above you. But no one's reacted in any way, so you guys can all give me dex saves.
Scabs, wild magic surge. He experiences searing pain when his skin is touched. That's
Lovely.
Good, as a vampire.
Aww.
And then the nearest wizard, Zune, is beseeched by a girl, her dog, and 3 friends.
Off to see the wizard.
My God.
The wonderful wizard of...
How a bit beseeched.
I'm the wizard.
Also, Tool School's bad thing was a dense fog rolls in and persists through the early morning, which may grant a disadvantage on perception checks. I will roll my
Fantastic.
dex.
Were you supposed to have disadvantage on our check?
Yeah, we might have done, yeah. 23 on my dex save.
I'm the
that's a good dex
wonderful
save.
wizard.
Okay.
Go on,
so-
fucking Oz!
I told you I was wonderful.
So a few people come over, and you notice have started congregating around Zoom, have separated themselves from the rest of the group, and
It's a target, like an hour.
Please don't let this be the cult that starts worshiping me. Oh no!
you have one of the only heavily armored individuals there. He is
Cersei and like big like iron dude, undead dude.
you have a really bulky tiefling who sort of like big, vicious looking. The one with the claws that I mentioned earlier seems to be quite influential here. He's separated as well, but he's actually standing just behind the Tin Man, just sort of head down, sort of keeping to himself. Looks a little nervous, a little cowardly. And finally, you have someone else. They're all standing there. The Tin Man sort of standing with his hands on his hips, looking sort of heroic, just behind you. Next to him, you can see he appears to have what you might recognize to be some kind of creature that. Give me a nature check.
Oh god, nature. Zune is so good at nature. Okay, Zune's pretty good with nature.
Okay.
Today.
So, what was the name of the dog in Wizard of Oz? It's been a long time.
Toto.
Toto. Okay, so Toto is totally recognizable to you, as Toto appears to be like a puma, only has two tails that have claws.
Displacer beast?
It may or may not be a displacer beast. Just there, sort of standing, guarding you on one side. You have Plate Man standing there, the other side. You have
just like the omen said.
The cowardly one hiding behind you, and then someone standing heroically next to you, except he's facing completely the wrong direction, and he's posturing to no one in particular, and then suddenly seems to realize that he's facing the wrong direction, and turns around very flustered, and, yes, indeed, what they said.
It's just like the rumor said, like the prophecy foretold.
Indeed.
When the comet cometh,
please stop with the prophecies.
there will be
Please.
a dog and a man.
Headache. You are trying to prophesize.
Oh.
That is the future. That is divination. You have a migraine. Suffer.
Oh. Also,
yeah, you
let's run
have-
from
you
the
have-
meteor.
I can't believe that I didn't notice such an amazing creature until now.
And Gavin, you are in trouble. Everyone else suddenly scatters as this meteorite falls through the ceiling. Does anyone do anything about... There is an individual who can't actually move at the moment.
I misty step him out of the cage.
1 second, actually.
It's a bonus action.
It is. Okay, I'll hear your bit. School.
Stand by.
Stand by. Stand by. Waiting for
Never
confirmation.
mind. Never mind. I have to. I don't get to reroll that. I thought I got to reroll.
Okay. This falls through the ceiling, and Zoom, where do you misty step to? Because you have some range.
No, I'm misty stepping him out of the cage because if he stays in the cage, he's gonna get squished and die, right?
Probably yes.
He's too valuable to lose.
So
and,
where do you put him?
I put him next to me and the Tin Man and my new friends.
Okay. So you
Um,
have the heroic standing motion. Yeah, cool. Okay. So people throw themselves in every direction. Squirrel, you are going to be knocked in a direction.
Time to rage.
You didn't. Yeah, I'm going to say it comes towards you. I'll give you a chance to rage. Yeah.
I was gonna
That's no
say that's enough emotional disturbance to be like.
I'm immune to fire damage, right?
Yeah, you are.
So,
How
like,
do the fucking ceiling's collapsing on your head, though?
I'm raging. I actually do get to re-roll that saving throw, but you can tell me. You can just make it that I get my reduction, whatever you.
That is some damage. That is 29 bludgeoning damage. You can reduce that to half. You are thrown into the gore of the purple worm, which is half crushed by this smoking hole. There is the smell of sizzling, burning flesh. This rock is red hot. It's probably about sort of 3 meters across, jagged but smooth. It's almost teardrop shape. However, those of you who have thrown yourself clear, you look up, see where it's come from. It's burrowed its way through. It's punched a hole deep down through the Earth's crust, sort of to the Underdark. It's nasty. Where are you guys?
Zamora, swamp, water.
Cool. Also, what is above you in Zamora?
Horrible insect-like magic devourer things.
Finally,
we knew there would be a test.
what's the last thing that you guys? What's the biggest thing that Zamora has that is problematic for you guys? That was sort of made it difficult to navigate through.
Oh, the fog. Right.
Yeah. So I refer you now.
Fog
What
for
was
the table
the?
of bad things, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of table of bad things, another D100 from Kent for Zune.
Oh yes.
Just what we need for the fucking comet comes in and all the bad things happen.
Yep.
Ooh, a nearby patch of trees or a forest is caught on fire. Only we can prevent forest fires, guys. God damn it.
So above you
No,
can
no.
see
That.
you can see
can go
silhouetted through the burned sort of tunneled hole in the ceiling, which is probably it's hundreds of meters long. There is smoke, there is fire, but more importantly, there is fog and there is swamp water that begins to cascade down into this. Now you sort of look at it, not big enough cavern. That's the way I'm going to describe the size. Not big enough.
Is this an ended cavern? So the water would push us out then,
I
wouldn't it?
quickly do the
It
equation.
has. I do, sort of like I do the math.
Yeah.
I do the math. It's
I see the matrix and I do I see the quantity of this and how much water I'm predicting is coming in.
I prefer the Sherlock Holmes to
Yeah.
the Matrix.
I
Yeah.
know physics.
and then you realize you're trying to figure out what's about to happen, and that's in the future.
And it gives me
And
a
Gregor has a
headache.
mic.
Damn it! I was so close.
Oh, close!
Had the answer on the
As-
tip of my tongue.
Yeah, water begins to cascade down.
What here can double as a boat or a raft?
Gregor
Anything.
Tuscanu.
Yeah, you're gonna sink like a fucking rock, dude.
I can't be moved, so in theory.
He's a good anchor, but not so much on the
This is
float.
true. So,
Dude,
Gavin.
the purple worm has giant scales.
Get inside the purple worm. Get inside the purple worm.
We're gonna
Huge
ride the
space.
worm into the tunnel just because the way it sounds.
Get on my
Yeah.
worm.
Ride
Come
my
on.
worm into
Come
your
on,
tunnel.
Zune. You know you've always wanted to. You too, Gavin. Don't pretend you haven't thought about it.
You're always
Yeah.
so
Zoom
miserable.
decides to fly instead, riding the worm.
Yeah, I refuse to ride the worm through the tunnel. No worms, no tunnels
You
for
had
me
no
today.
fun whatsoever. And just me and Gav, a little twosome. Let's go, Gav. And I jump on the head.
Gavin's currently in the worm.
That's good for me. That's good as far as
Gavin's
Gregor
currently
is.
been blasted.
I grab
from
a-
one of the fitness plates
I-
into it.
Yeah, I gotta grab the horns as though they were as though they were gears on a car. I set it into first gear, and I push the horn forwards as the water comes in. Go!
I cast Fly again on the one-eyed man, since both of my companions seem to be, are they float? I'm gonna hold that for a second. If the scales do not work for them, I'm gonna have to save one of them, and it's gonna be Gavin, because Gavin can pick up the dwarf.
I appreciate
So-
that your first go to was that we could do this, and then you're like, wait,
It could happen. Okay, so I cast Fly on myself, and then I watch, and I'm gonna hold that fly to see what happens.
There's something about this cavern that makes people think, yeah, right, let's go along with this plan. Wait.
The last time the plan was
the dudes immediately get on pogo sticks as they're drowning, like holding a pogo stick in the water. Like, we got this, man. Also, another table of bad things for Gavin. It's a D100, Gavin.
Yes, suck it, nerd.
Oh god damn.
It's a table of some bad things. There are some good things.
Actually, I'm inside the worm, so you can't see what I'm doing. But I am pulling out the guitar of Wild Stallions in case I need to cast Fly on myself.
Okay.
Using someone's bone.
Oh,
as
if you can cast it on yourself, then you can
Fuck you.
him anyways, right?
Yeah.
So I can still save the one-eyed man. Perfect.
Okay.
Like I said, but you're not seeing that.
I'm not seeing
Ooh.
that.
You've seen me do it before.
This one's
I'm-
interesting.
Oh, hold on.
I've got 10 minutes of flight, so I'm good.
This one's
and I can go.
interesting. A ghost appears and asks you a favor, Gavin. Interesting.
More voices in your head.
More voices
Just
in
what
your
you
head.
needed.
Truly.
Do not make it my mother. I saw that look. No.
No. Right. I'm sorry to do this to you, but Tia and Will.
Also,
It's
it's,
gonna be-
20 retweets. We have a viewer decision when we
Oh,
get back.
even better.
Right.
Even better. Okay, right. So, Gavin, there is no ghost. There is.
Is Will still on?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
Cool. So there is no ghost. There is merely a sensation of otherness directly around you. And you get the sensation that it's less of a ghost and it's more of a survival instinct kicks in. As if your body is trying to save itself, but there's that, do you know what I'm talking about? That kind of yeah. So there is a thing. So basically this other side agrees that with what is about to happen, what is about to fill this chamber, the swamp order is bad. The fog, given your current new abilities, you are probably not best suited to handle this situation.
Right.
So it's cutting you a deal. It will help save the both of you because otherwise you are going to die down here. How do you respond to that? And this is not going to be broadcast outwardly. This is just sort of within the realms of your mind. And I'm keeping this very vague, guys, because Tool Squall is doing some clever stuff here. So...
I'm gonna go with Gavin. He's St. Cuthbert. Common sense. Sometimes you've got to do today to possibly undo tomorrow.
Okay. Right. If you guys in chat are slightly confused, it's cool. Things will become more clear as we progress down this wonderful twisted story. Headphones back on, you sad mugs. That's gonna be interesting.
I'm back.
So, the craziness happened. So, chat, there is a flood happening in a subterranean cavern full of swamp water that will fucking drown you, clog you up. I mean...
I don't like where the sentence is going.
Total bad stuff like raining down upon you. Plus also, the fog is starting to fill. This fog brings creatures that eat magic, and the fog itself impairs vision and has other effects that have not been entirely explored yet. But how well, I just want to know, chat, are you with or against Gregor's plan of the worm and the escape on the worm? And if you are with it, I want to hear some wonderful things of how it happens and other stuff that happens. And if it doesn't work, I want to know why it doesn't work. Basically, here's your chance to basically sink or help float Gregor's giant purple worm.
Does
There
the
you are.
party sink or swim?
Does the party sink or swim? And if so, how? There you
Does
are.
the purple worm rise?
Sink or swim. Yes. Oh, that's it. That's our viewer decision right there. Beautiful. So yeah, as we wait with bated breath to find out, hopefully it's maybe even with held breaths as this all goes terribly wrong for you guys. Laurelania, Zoom, you fly above this chaos, and
I telepathically let him know that I will save him.
he climbs onto the back of the purple worm, mainly because it's the highest ground around here, and also he's surrounded by a lot of really fucking angry people who are now looking up and panicking. And you see that one guy who's just like handing out the pogo sticks. He's still alive, he's still kicking, and he's just
That
handing
guy.
out pogo. Yeah, he's still you guys haven't killed him yet, so he's
Gavin,
Gavin, kill
where
him!
are you?
Yeah, I'm inside the purple worm.
Yeah, I lost sight of him in the chaos. Like, as soon as all that stuff happened, I'm assuming that I, like, jumped out of the way.
Yeah,
Unless
I
I
got
have, like, a
thrown.
25 perception. Like, I have no idea where my party is.
Zoom, maybe he was killed.
That would be so lovely. I wouldn't have
No.
on my hands.
I
would give-
so lucky.
I would perform your last rites of the Raven Queen. Don't you worry. I still have that feather. Let's see if your god will take you back. But yes, I frantically, Gavin, Gregor.
Zune! They'll probably shout out from somewhere. I'm having a great time!
You can see Gregor has climbed atop the purple worm's head and is sort of using sheer fucking strength where it started to try and burrow its way down. He pulls like its jaws up, so it is now sort of facing a tunnel which is too small for this purple worm. But I mean, you know, it'll be fun.
I could have cast fly on him and gotten him to carry me. Why do I always think of these things after? Forgot how strong he is. Just based on reason and logic, something that is hard to find in this campaign.
Oh, I was gonna say, you're in the wrong game. Yeah.
What are the chances that I think this purple worm riding idea will work?
Roll me an intelligence.
Alright, I gotta pull up on the screen. The first one is yes, and we surf out. The one on the right over here is no, it sinks. The one down the bottom is yes, but it's ripped apart. And that could be dangerous. And the one on the left is no, it dies. I mean, it already is dead.
It's already dead. I take
But it dies
as the
again.
party.
Yeah,
The party dies.
okay, yeah, good. Good.
For TPK, press here.
Yeah,
so
that's that one.
on a 16, you know that if anyone else was trying this bullshit, it would fail. But I mean, red skin, meteorites. Today is the universe's day of telling you to eat a dick. And Gregor is amazing.
Yep.
I just kind of like cross-leggedly sit in the air flying, I guess. Can I hover with the fly spell? I would assume
You
so.
can indeed, but can you give me a perception check as you hover gleefully and watch the chaos unfold?
Man, I have a... Okay.
Okay, cool. In which case, it takes you a little longer than you probably like it to realize that you are drowning in two ways. Zune Vandry, you are currently in a cavern that is filling up from the bottom. It is also filling up from the top, as you can't see the ceiling for the fog anymore, and it is seeping towards you.
It's time for Zune to peace out. Bye, guys. I start flying 60 feet away as fast as I can. There's only so much I can do, and I don't see my friends. Like,
On a 9, yeah, you see Gregor because Gregor is very loud.
Can I try to take like a last, like, we gotta go. Can I attempt with all my Zune strength to pick up Gregor?
Oh, this I want to see. This I want to see.
Is that even possible?
This is beautiful.
I have an 11 in strength. I don't know.
This is a
moved.
No.
I can't be moved against my will.
So
I
This is the
can,
thing.
if I want her to move me.
So, let's first of all, I'm gonna need. I'll give you an athletics if that helps.
No, it makes.
I imagine not.
Nothing makes any difference. So it's
I
up
will
to you.
remind
Either
you- I will
athletics or
remind you-
strength.
you have an advantage if you want to.
I will use the advantage. I did forget about that, so thank you. And I'm gonna do a pure strength check just because it's
because sheer strength. And 18.
Hey,
Okay, so
this is about to be a beautiful moment.
this is a moment where suddenly so Gregor.
Walking in the air.
Gregor, like you feel the surge of water hit the underside of the purple worm. There is no sign of Gavin, and you see a couple of people immediately submerged, probably dead. There is like the water. Anyone who was crippled in this, they have not had a chance to get up. Anyone who's crippled in this fight, anyone who's sick, anyone who is elderly is probably about to drown horribly in this cavern. However, a lot of people are trying to climb the fucking walls and find, any small tunnel that leads out of this room, out of this cavern as quickly as possible. This has split the party in the worst kind of way. But you feel the surge, and I mean, you feel the whole
feel the power.
worm. You feel that tingling sensation. The whole worm between your legs lifts and stirs slightly, and on the current. And
I can levitate. I can levitate.
It's beautiful.
I have unlimited power. I am a god.
You do. As your feet leave the purple worm, you're holding on to it in sort of like a Superman.
I have ascended to godhood.
Two fists forward, holding onto the horns of this creature that it totally didn't have, until they don't have horns, but I mean, you said horns, and I love it. So you have the horns that you are sort of holding onto. They're probably teeth that have punctured through.
Oh wait, no, not that one.
You are holding onto them when suddenly you realize that there is the sound of what sounds like someone trying to shit through the eye of a needle, as Zoom Vandry
I know that one well.
is flexing like you would not believe. Tall Squall for all the subscribers, the biggest flex. Look at that. Who was more impressive there, guys? I want that to be another viewer decision. Who was more impressive?
I already know. I know. I'm pretty sure Squawk could outbench me, maybe just a little bit.
Can that be like a new episode? Can that be a thing? Can we just pit Laura Lanier against those
Laura Lanier and Squawk go to the gym.
See how long.
Well, what is running?
I need to see that. Okay,
where is the pizza station?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I look up and I'm like, God damn it, Zune!
Zune is lifting you, and Zune, you look down, she has the veins popping, she has the full-on flex mode go. Yeah. I can't. There we go. What even is that? I don't even know. That's not human. How do you react?
More oxygen, bigger muscles.
Indeed. Gregor, how do you react to Zoom being suddenly physically impressive?
I'm doing this as nonchalantly as possible.
I don't think. I don't trust it at all. I look up and I'm like, oh, as I've been like, ha, fuck you, Zoom, I can fly. I look up and I see her and I'm like, oh. I'm not gonna look up there. I can see way too much up there. I gotta keep my head down. Keep my head down. It's not a pretty sight.
You're like, oh man, she's all rotten. You're looking into her ribcage.
I can see through you, Zune. Oh my god. Oh, I can't unsee that, and I can't stop looking. Oh god. Oh.
So if you don't stop talking, I'm going to drop you.
As Zune, you manage to essentially stop him from rolling the worm and keep him balanced as a surge of water begins to push, and half this purple worm snaps, the part that Gregor laid waste to snaps, and half this purple worm suddenly moves forward towards this tunnel, which you very quickly realize you are in every scene that's ever been in an action movie where they fight on top of any moving vehicle like a train or a lorry. There's a bridge coming.
Yeah, bridge! I shout. Duck!
God damn it!
And just at the last second, you manage to sort of it's horrible, but the only thing you can do is fight or flight. Do you let go of him and remain, like, peel up and remain in the cavern, or do you try and make it through with Gregor?
Never let go, Zoon.
Oh God.
I mean, is this gonna?
I was gonna
plug the
say I
hole?
can't like momentum like push him away, fly, go and like attempt to grab him
Oh
again.
my god.
No, so you've got to basically like I mean, if you want to get through, you've got to be real flush against him, like pressed against Gregor Tuscan.
So basically, what you're asking
don't
me is
want
how much do I value Gregor's life?
I mean, Gregor is probably going to make it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
whether or
Gregor's
not you
fine,
want to be. You have three choices. You can either let go of him, let him push through the tunnel if he makes it, and remain in his cavern and try and find another way out. You can.
You're going to be fine. I let him go.
Okay. All right then.
He'll be fine.
So, Gregor, you start to pivot as she lets go, and your head narrowly misses like some low-hanging rocks, and you penetrate the wall of this cavern. And we'll get to that in a moment, but there is an almighty crunching sound as a lot of fucking...
I use my second wind as I go in.
So, Gavin, buddy, I'm gonna need you to make me a dex save, buddy.
Because all of a sudden the car I was in just like came to an immediate stop, right?
No, it's just hit a lot of uneven ground. You found potholes, buddy. You found all of the potholes, speed bumps, and cavern
Cool.
wall.
So I am
hit any
raging. So
potholes.
first thing, if I'm raging, I have advantage, and I can re-roll if I fail.
Indeed,
Which
you
Yes.
have
What could
Yeah,
go
yeah.
wrong?
exactly nothing bad could happen here.
that's
At 20. On a 20, you managed to literally, you are holding on to what you imagine was probably like an internal rib or something of this creature. You're not sure, maybe it's just the inside of the chitinous plate where it's attached, but you have like clawed your way through the innards of this thing and are now dug in with like the sheer will of a man who doesn't want to come out the back. And there is an almighty tearing sound, and suddenly bits of the cavern wall become visible very close to your face as the sides of this creature are torn away in places. There is rubble falls into the creature with you and bounces out the back, and as you look behind you, the cavern is visible just past your feet.
it's the airplane disintegrating, right?
Yeah.
It's like the tail of the airplane disintegrating.
Yeah. But you hang on, Zoom Vandry. You watch as the front end of this purple worm vanishes, followed by a large surge of water, which Gavin suddenly comes up to meet you and blocks out the light from the cavern, leaving you in darkness. Essentially, you are now in the underground, hearing the noises of the underground, plus a plane crash, plus a surge of water coming towards you. That is your.
So I wasn't in the front end. I was in the back end.
No, you're in the front end, but this
So
is
I
what
was
is coming up
going down the
right
top.
behind you. Yes.
Okay.
Zune, that cavern suddenly that tunnel suddenly fills with water, and you are running out of places to vanish to.
Fuck.
You should have come with me.
You should have held Gregor close, pressed your rotting corpse against his
I shouldn't never let me go.
red fleshy body.
That was the best thing you
would
ever
have
had.
It could have been so magical.
Okay, this is interesting. We actually had this discussion on my stream not that long ago. Klutzy, this one's for you. So can I fly through the water? Can I use my fly speed in the water?
I tell you what, I'll let you, depends on how far you want to go. Because you can dive bomb into the water.
I was thinking about diving and going with the flow of the water with my speed and trying to like get out ahead of it again. If I'm running out of areas here, then I have to double back, go into the water, go the way that I thought was the right way. Because my lungs aren't undead. I still need to breathe, so...
As you turn around and sort of fly...
Wait, no, you don't.
What?
We determined that before. When you came down here, remember, you were full of slime.
Oh, that's right. So I'm fine. What am I worried about? I'll walk out of here.
I wasn't going to say anything, but it makes sense, like, not having spent most of your life as undead.
That's true, yeah.
Worrying about drowning is a legitimate concern. But yeah, suddenly having that moment of clarity of like, you're like, oh fuck, I've got to go round. I'm gonna have to hold my breath. I'm gonna have to like try and navigate in the pitch darkness. Clarity returns to you, and yeah, you don't actually need to breathe.
How I guess this water is fairly murky and disgusting because it's swamp water.
Completely opaque.
Okay.
Completely opaque.
Well, I mean, the water's still going to carry my party that way, so now with less franticness, I go, oh, I don't need to breathe. Okay, well, I just kind of slowly... I look to see if I can save anyone, I guess.
Okay, right, so you have... there is a group that you recognize as the randomers who came and stood by your side. They are fleeing up one of the cabin walls towards a small tunnel, they might have to crawl some of the way through it. It looks particularly tight, but they are ahead of the flow and look like they're okay. However, the one-eyed man is currently standing on an island that looks purple and chitinous as the water fills around him, and looking up at the fog above, sort of making strange gestures towards the fog above.
I fly and I pick him up, and I will take him out. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the fuck out of Dodge.
As you come past, he literally doesn't, like, you come up behind him, and at the last possible second, he jumps. Both legs in the air, and lands in your arms.
You are so wonderful.
My hero.
Up and out, or that way?
He gives you a curious look. You can't be serious. You would go near the fog, it would kill you. Do you not know?
No, I know almost next to nothing about this area. Completely uneducated. Tell me where you want to go. And don't eat my brain. Perhaps Gavin still has your drugs.
He looks around and just says, like, water tends to spoil it. We should go.
I let him point me like a car and let him tell me which way to go.
He says, you don't need the same things I do. And I have abilities you don't. I will guide you without eyes, and you will propel me without limbs. Yes?
Yes.
He points towards the now subterranean, submerged cavern where your friends vanished, where air is still sort of bubbling out of, and he points you in that direction. Trust me.
A famous, yes, trust.
That thing. I read about it once.
I've researched this trust. We shall try it.
Indeed. Try everything once.
So the two scientists.
the two mad scientists plunge into this murky water. And yeah, okay. We're going to cut back to Gregor Tuscan. Gregor, I'm going to need two things from you. First of all, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
If that's okay.
yeah, I can give that a go, I guess, 22! I don't know about you.
Fantastic. You take 32 slashing damage, but you do not fall off as you are being cheese grated on the top of a giant purple worm between a sheer tunnel surface and everything. However, the most important roll I now need from you, I need a performance check. Because this is important. On a 3, this is going to be the least graceful emergence ever, as you reach the end of the tunnel, and on a 3...
It's like being born again.
You don't majestically fire out. At the last second, the tunnel narrows.
No!
And you see, like, ahead of you, you see the light coming. It's a beautiful moment. You're absolutely convinced. And then the tunnel suddenly begins to descend, and you're like trying to hold yourself flush against the worm, and then you're pressed against the worm, and then you hit a piece of rock, and it punches you through the roof of this thing's mouth, out through its teeth, shattering teeth in the process, and you are vomited by a purple worm that jams itself in the exit of the tunnel.
I fly like in Chicken Run. Splat.
And you slam into what appears to be a pillar, and fall prone on the floor. It is beautiful.
I'm alive though.
You are alive. Gavin, I'm going to need a con save from you, buddy.
Oh, this is bad. You're muted, Tuskel.
Raging, I don't have it on con, but I can still re-roll it if I fail it.
Okay.
Does a 15 make it?
It just about makes it. You are not on the outside, so it's not so bad for you. However, you are still going to take some damage as you are fired out the front of this giant worm, regurgitated into the... It's, wow, 7 and you get to half it. That's not bad odds. You take, was that like 3 bludgeoning damage as you are, fired out the end of this thing.
Can I stroll out majestically with my
okay, right. I'll tell you what. You see a so this is going to be a beautiful moment for Gregor as lying spread eagle on the floor, looking up at another cave ceiling. Probably getting quite sick of sort of looking at cave ceilings at this point. You look up just sort of past your head. There is a giant phallic purple thing pushing its way out of the tunnel. And then swamp water begins to seep from the tip. And then Gavin Fjordhammer is fired out the end and lands in a majestic roll. And he comes up wiping slime. He literally rolls to his feet, already wiping slime from his shoulders. Looking pretty fucking...
I landed just like that too.
like slick with slime. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, you clearly one of the fast swimmers there. No, not shooting any blanks, eh, Gav? I'm dead. I'm dead. I hurt, to be honest with you, Gav. I hit a couple of pillars on the way in.
Me as well. The inside of those things is not very pleasant.
Oh, right, yeah. We should take a rest later today. I'm tired.
We definitely should take a rest.
Yeah, I think maybe after this we've been pogoing around the fuck enough, you know.
What is the saying? Speak of the devil and what happens?
There she is.
Suddenly flying very haphazardly, carrying someone. He doesn't weigh a lot, but you are both bogged down. You are both heavy. You are flying blind with nothing but the guidances and prods of the one-eyed man to literally poke you. But it's okay because in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, and he manages to guide you out of the end, and you pull up just in time to avoid being impaled on one of the teeth of the purple worm, which is like pointing straight at you. Just managed to barrel roll out of the way, and suddenly you are both flung in opposite directions as you realize you are going to crash straight into a pillar. And he goes one way, you go the other way, and you both come skittering to a halt.
The whole team back together again.
Look, Gavin, I saved someone. How heroic of me.
Yes, because you had no personal interest whatsoever.
None.
Good for you.
Thank you. A
So
paragon.
altruistic.
Paragon, I say, kind of chuckling at the near-death experience that we all just had. Oh, they're probably all dead.
Unfortunately, yes, it seems that would be the case. Or they might have heard of them. Somewhere they could go to. High ground.
I appear to have sustained damage.
I look at him.
He has shattered both of his arms. He has put both his arms up to try and stop himself. He is in a very old vessel.
You don't need
He
those.
has broken himself and cannot currently sit up.
Arms are very overrated.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can do nothing to assist you.
Can I? Those rages burn up those old spell slots pretty darn fast.
Yeah.
So, can I do a medicine check to try to set his arms? Or actually, at least I'm gonna first in comfort. Gavin would, of course, get him to sit up and try to check him over, and then do whatever I can to just sort of stabilize him until we can all take a rest and
I was gonna say, can we like start the rest rotation now while Gavin starts that? Maybe.
Yeah, sure. If you guys
and we
wanna
just start like.
You guys are in.
Well, let's at least. I mean, where are we? Let's find some place where we're not like. I look up at the giant purple one. That will probably draw some attention. We might want to.
You guys are in a series of small caverns that seem to stretch off in a particular direction. You wouldn't know which way north, south, east, west is at this point. You've been pretty turned around, but it seems that you could easily sort of see. I'm thinking in my head. I'm trying to give you a reference, and all that's coming to my mind is Zion from the Matrix. Like big with like huge pillars of stone. But it's basically, there doesn't appear to be anything that you can immediately see of interest. There are plenty of sort of small caves and crevices where you could just hunker down and hide and try and sleep.
I would assume that because there was just a flash flood, that any like kind of creature in the area would probably likewise flee away. This is probably our best chance for a rest without being disturbed.
Can I do a survival just to see how good of a spot I can find us? Yeah,
absolutely. Give me a survival.
That'd be a nat 1.
On that one, Gavin, you need to sit the fuck down, buddy.
Yeah,
like literally,
it's been a
just sit on the floor.
day. I'm just coming out of a rage. My brain. I'm not back in Gavin common sense mode anymore.
No. So Gavin, you find a place to sit, which is, funnily enough, exactly where you are, and you sort of sit down. There, are you trying to you're trying to heal this guy in some way? I'm
trying to just get him stable to get us that he doesn't die before he gets a long rest and gets some hit points back.
I was gonna let the dwarf
I'm tapped out
first because they need the shortest amount of rest. So.
Yeah, I could do is spending some hit dice. I'm on 19 HP.
I've done it. I'm doing really well.
I've surprisingly taken almost no damage.
I can do
I ate a bag of dicks last week.
I can medicine check. I can
assist on a medicine check.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can break arms very well.
This is true. All of you, to be completely honest, Gregor, you will have seen your fair amount of breakages and stuff like injuries in combat. Zoom, human physiology mostly because you've studied.
Because I've taken apart bodies and tried to put them back together again, so it's like where it's supposed
all of you are
back together again.
All of you are kind of qualified in this situation, but yeah, medicine check would absolutely do it.
13.
Glad I'm assisting.
Okay, on a 13, give me an assist, whoever wants to.
I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. His left arm is probably useless. He's probably like powderized bone. His right arm, you can see there is a shard of bone sticking out of his elbow. It looks like he's shunted part of his forearm out of his elbow socket. Not pleasant. But he will die of blood loss at this point if he isn't seen to. And you can sort of do what you can to sort of tie off areas and then see about trying to sort of pull the bone back in and reset. But it ain't going to be pleasant, and he's probably going to need some kind of surgery or magical healing.
He's going to have to tough it out for 8 hours and hope for the best.
Well, it's just a small one, and I've got some bigger ones. I got a healing potion I can use on him. Just a basic heal.
Indeed.
Gavin would.
Yeah, fair enough.
The player doesn't want to, but Gavin would.
So that's 2d4 plus 2.
Always be friends with the healer, because otherwise you find yourself in situations where the healer doesn't want to heal.
That's nice. All but max.
Yeah, okay. On a 9, it seems to take the edge off, but he sort of, if he's in any pain, he sort of drinks it and is just like, do you have any more?
It's all we can spare for right now.
So you
But
do
it
have
can
more.
through the night.
Right. Oh, yes. I'm in so much pain. Ow. That's good. Where did
That's
you
about
get
as good as play acting as when I get stabbed in the leg.
Gregor is sleeping at this point.
Do you not feel pain in your leg? He snores.
No, not at all. I'm apparently undead from the waist down. I got into a fight with a Balor and I awoke like this after speaking with my goddess, curiously.
He blinks. Just. That is
Fascinating.
interesting.
Can I get an insight check on him, see why he's like so perplexed? Why he thinks that would be interesting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's something that's clearly triggering something in his. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
You,
So
You
we
guys should
got a
sleep.
long rest, guys, because
Yeah.
All right.
healer's tapped.
So,
You- The three of you may begin your rest. I will keep watch first.
he looks to you with his good eye and I don't
You do not require sleep. Interesting. Good, then we'll have much to talk about while these two rest. I smile at Gavin particularly. Good night.
Gavin's wiped. Yeah,
Fuck it, if I die, at least I'm asleep. That's all I want.
pretty much. She's at that point. Yeah, Gavin doesn't even cook. I mean, at this point, yeah, he doesn't
Dying.
even cook.
Oh my god.
That's
Wow,
how
tired enough to sleep through hunger. That's a special
I'm
kind of tired.
really low. Like, would have been dead if I wouldn't have been raging.
So, you,
Yeah, if I hadn't saved that
Basically-
save, I'd have been dead, probably.
yeah. I mean, you tried to. Wasn't the best plan, but it works. Chat decreed
It
works.
worked
and worked.
until Zune screwed everything up. I'm kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
This is what Gregor thinks, of course.
It was gonna be fine.
I really, really wanted Zoom to join you on that journey. It's just like
Me too.
watch as Zoom was basically cheese grated into Gregor. It would have been beautiful. It would have been a moment. So
that image is never gonna go away.
wonderful.
Cheese
So
grated.
you guys, cheese grated into.
Cheese grated as a verb. You have been
Yeah.
cheese grated. Mm.
Pretty much during the 4 hours that we're sleeping, I just want to talk to him about the different type of liches, and then kind of put that two and two together from before that we were talking about. Hopefully,
Okay. So
since that's
yeah.
what I had missed.
So
And-
let's have a little bit of that conversation real quick as the others are sleeping. As you at this point, what she's come out. Yeah. So you she will sort of notice that he sort of sits there. He doesn't really do anything. His arms look like they're not laying comfortably, but he doesn't seem bothered by it in any way. As he just sort of examines the cavern that he's in, takes it all in, and then just fixes you with a stare. So, you had
Here we go.
questions?
It seems that my cataloging. I see what you meant before. Why did you not just simply tell me? Do you enjoy mind games?
Oh, that was a serious question.
I have not-
Everyone away, Zune laughing wakes up the whole party, just like, oh god, no.
I have nightmares where Zune laughs. Because when she
I haven't-
opens her mouth, like everything screams because of her like wild magic
Oh yeah, that's
surgery.
right.
Because of
The
her
teeth.
teeth,
That's
yeah.
right.
It's like
that's
a horrible
clear-
grating noise.
the echoey, ghosty sound of when I laugh, and haven't laughed in some time. So what will you do now? You're alive, you're free.
I can't leave through conventional means, and I have no idea what will happen if I stray too far from the hive mind, but it has always been something that has been curious, and now my body is spent mostly. I may simply look to expand into the outside world. The fog proves some problem, but
The fog does not go forever, and it is a very big world. But more importantly, our debt is settled, correct? You saved our lives by taking off the collar. I have saved yours. You will not try to eat my brain at any point.
whose debt are you referring to?
Mine, my life debt to yours. You took the collars off all three of us. Without you, we would be certainly crushed.
That debt is settled.
So you won't try and eat my brain while I'm sleeping?
I have to say, I'm not entirely sure this form traded for your form would be an upgrade.
Fair enough, I say, swatting one of the bees on my leg.
One six-legged arachnid poisonous creature that scuttles out from your thigh. Yeah. Although it would be curious to experience it for a time, but well.
So many things I want to say, but we're on Twitch.
New community guidelines,
Headphones
Tia.
off,
They're
Twitch.
watching. They're watching.
Yeah, I will spend the time like idly flirting with him and kind of talking about the undead.
My favorite kind of flirting is idle flirting about the undead.
I know.
Idle flirting and talking about the undead and.
Chicks love it when I talk to them about all the zombies I've raised.
He does have one question. He has many questions. He asks you to sort of recant the tale of how the fuck you got so fucked up.
I tell everything with complete truth in regards
well.
to myself. I don't mention anything about the rest of the party because
he's focused on you. I mean, you're the one he's talking to. So.
he's the only person I've met that is a scientist and that I think will appreciate the pure faculties of reason and logic in this. So I indulge everything to him. I would like to hear what he has to say on it.
He seems confused at first. Then you mentioned curiosity. He pauses for a moment. He says, "She is known to me."
Oh, she's a dark elf goddess. I imagine that many of the dark elf gods are known to you, or at least your mortal coil.
They are known to me through the hive mind, but mostly this curiosity. We have texts that we have taken.
Do not tempt me with a good time.
Your history is mostly unknown, but there are greater texts if they have survived in the main city. For this city was once a sister city to that which you once called your capital, long ago.
How do you do it? How do you sit with just generations of knowledge in your head?
I don't. I pick and choose. I borrow. I'm not entirely sure how much knowledge is mine and how much is shared, although that is one and the same. For all knowledge is mine, and yet all knowledge is rented, on loan.
Tempting. Very tempting.
You could
No.
experience it.
No.
The offer stands if you grow weary. He is still here, within this form. He knows everything that I know, everything I have ever known, every single person I have ever taken. And he knows everyone that has been taken by the hive mind, but he swims in an endless pool of thoughts and questions and answers.
No. Tempting. No. Perhaps someday, when I have achieved a greater form.
somehow I don't think that is your destiny.
Yes.
No. I think you are destined for something very different.
Indulge me then. Shall we pull out some tarot cards and go and look at the stars with a bottle of wine?
As funny as that may seem, I wouldn't be able to tell you, other than from drawings, what the stars look like.
Oh god, this is... Either I'm trying to see what would... With dancing lights, can I attempt to create the stars in the darkness? I'll throw it out in the distance so it kind of has more of the appearance of...
You can mimic sort of like small constellations piece by piece and move it across. And it leaves a flickering image of a hemisphere in the air. And he lets himself fall rather ungracefully back as he can't put his arms out to steady himself. But he falls back and he looks up and he says...
I kind of help hold him and guide him down while casting a cantrip, but I'm assuming it's very easy for me.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, no problem. He looks up and he says, "A long time ago, I probably would have said that it looks beautiful. Though who amongst me thought that, I don't know. But it is interesting to see the world. What is, what will be, what was."
Help us, and I will make sure that you get to the surface. This is where we are destined to return.
I don't think you truly understand how miraculous it is that you made it through that fog.
I think you underestimate me. You underestimate them, I say to the sleeping, snoring, gigantic and small, but yet equally loud snores coming from Gavin. And how can a little body put out so much sound?
He looks sort of at the sleeping figures and says, "Why is it that someone as powerful and as gifted as yourself has yet to kill them?"
That one, I have deduced, is likely in a relationship with my sister, protecting a child. She's the last family I have. Mr. Fjordhammer opens up places in my mind that I would not otherwise see myself. It's good to have balance.
So you have formed a kinship with them, despite your best interest.
Indeed.
And this relationship you don't approve.
Of course not. Look at him. He's a giant red dwarf who brings meteors and death. Vomits. He's about as uncouth as anything could be. The exact opposite of what our great house once stood for. Now we're the last of our names. The only one who could continue on our lineage, if I do not survive, is her. And him. They cannot breed. It's a terrible relationship. It'd be like trying to pair a duck and a horse. And yet somehow they make it work.
So you have a great worry about what? Them reproducing or them carrying on your family name? Because the two are not mutually exclusive. What is more important to you, blood or your household name?
The household name.
So it is not important that they are not compatible via race. It is...
You
What?
suggest that they start a family, adopt a child. She narrows her eyes. And they continue on the name.
A child who is incredibly dangerous, who has worried the entire hive mind.
The child has worried the hive mind.
He is an incredibly dangerous vector, and he is incredibly infectious, and he is incredibly violent. But he has the capacity to hide it behind an innocent face. Would that not be something he would fear if he were not so enamored by you?
I see the points you are making. I agree with what you have laid out before me. The Vandry name will live on. It will be powerful. My sister will be happy, which surprisingly does mean something to me. I will allow this relationship to continue, not murder the dwarf in his sleep. Don't murder them.
At least one of us has made promises. He smiles coyly.
A drow promise is always kept.
Of course. I did have one final parting question, and it is an important one. Your journeys through the fog. How did you survive? I can understand the dwarf. He is physically strong and capable of not relying on the arcane, and, well, the other one equally so. And from what I understand, your sister is keen with a blade as well. So how is it that someone who is so, and I don't mean any disrespect here, but so dependent on the arcane survive in so much magic?
It seems to be a very interesting point. The creatures can only take from you little by little, not all at once. If you are careful with your spells and you can escape, you can get away from them. How far they chase, I do not know.
He gives you a quizzical look. The creatures.
And I describe the creatures about how they take magic. And I look at him as if
he looks like deeply fascinated by this.
Were they almost made of the same material as our collars?
Yes, in some way, yes.
It was similar.
He looks very intrigued by that and wonders, sort of seems to be pondering, sort of, trying to remember where the pieces of the collar ended up and, how much is left, if any, at his workshop. But so there are creatures as well in the fog.
Yes, I have come to the deduction that it is likely somewhere here in the Eastern Underdark there must be some sort of device that controls them, that takes the magic and ciphers it away somewhere for its own uses. Can you think of a place that would house such a device?
You are looking entirely in the wrong direction. The magic that is being taken, it is probably being returned to the fog.
The fog in itself?
You don't know what it is, do you?
No. Do enlighten me. I do need to rest soon.
As sort of like blinking back tiredness that's coming on, he says, the fog itself is nothing more than sheer raw magic.
I'm gonna sleep pondering the possibilities. I kind of lay my head down on his lap and listen to him tell me about the fog, and I will fall off to sleep because I need spells.
As you sort of drift off, he is going to do something so fucking gross. But as it's just the two of you, and you can see sort of where he's been bandaged up, his hand has started to turn blue, where it has pretty fucking, his left arm is absolutely trashed inside. The skin has started to turn sort of blue in places and is incredibly cold. And he reaches down and twists his little finger and pulls it off and offers it to you. You haven't eaten in some time.
Oh, God. Without question, yes. And I cozy up to him.
Just the day before Valentine's Day, sort of laying in his lap as he feeds you his fingers and tells you stories of stars and magic. So, who's up next? Who wakes up to see this?
Has Gregor gotten his, what do you need, 6 hours?
Yeah, I mean, you can spend some of the 8 hours. You don't have to sleep solidly for it, but you need to be resting for 8 hours. You need to get a lot of sleep in. But you can take a watch during that time, so that's no problem.
I'll get up.
So, Gregor, you awaken to see Zune snoring contently, quietly in his lap, with her head in his lap, feeding him. Basically being fed parts of his hands.
Is that a Roman grape thing? But
Yes,
he's like dripping in parts of undead flesh. I get up. Ooh.
He raises a stump and then realizes there's no finger to shush you with. And just says, she's very tired.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I wasn't using it.
You were using what? Oh! The fingers, you meant the fingers. Of course, that's... Okay. This is, bringing all sorts of flashbacks back.
As he sits there...
To the nunnery, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. As he sits there, do you engage him in conversation?
So what's your fucking deal, mate?
He shrugs one shoulder, the one that works, and says, my deal, you would have to be more specific.
So, you're an intellect devourer, but you're inside this dude's brain, and you're just hanging out with us, because we set you free.
I don't have anywhere else to go, and I'd probably perish and die if I went off on my own. You saw back there the things that we face.
So you're like one of a kind, right? Because all the others, they've hive mind and crazy.
You know when there is a riot, and everyone in the riot has the same idea, which is to smash everything in its path and cause as much chaos as possible because it's fun, yes?
Yeah?
I am the one person in the riot who has a different idea. I don't go where the rest go. But I can't necessarily stand alone in a riot and not get pulled along for the ride. I'm not as strong as you are.
Fair enough. Few are. So what's your end game here? You know, where do you see this all going? Because we're going down to the whole infested area of all your fucking buddies who are pulling you in the other direction. And we are a bit like you, going in the opposite direction to everyone else wants to go.
I am curious to find out what happens when you all arrive. I would like to believe that they will not kill you because they respect you, but really the reason they will not kill you is because they need your assistance.
So they need our help. Fucking everyone needs my help, mate. I don't get any fucking help. No one helps me.
Some people just don't stand in your way.
That's fucking needy, aren't they? Everyone around here. Pretty fucking needy. So this guy who rules over them, you know, the hive mind fucking wankathon master.
He is known as the Elder Brain, but...
The Elder fucking Brain. Alright, so he's a big brain. Fucking egghead. What's his end game? What's the point of it all? To know as much as you can know? What's he want? Power? Money? Women?
Originally, he just wanted power, knowledge, and other things, and to expand his hive. Unfortunately, he had an ambitious friend.
Right?
Have you ever, where you come from, encountered a dwarf so rich and so fat that he's unable to wash his own body?
I've heard of them. Haven't personally met them myself, but, you know, I try and keep in shape myself.
And you are doing a remarkably good job of it, but say you let yourself go in a really big way. Say you ate like your friends, and he sort of gestures to Gavin,
Could happen.
and you piled on the pounds, and someone else, maybe even him, had to help you move around, clean you, keep you well tended to, because you no longer fit through doors.
Sure.
So you become all powerful or knowing, a big, fat, rich ruler who rules over his people. But what if one day the guy who does everything for you decides that you can't actually get away from him and he wants your power?
Makes sense. Classic betrayal.
Exactly. So he betrays you and he takes power for himself, and he takes power in a very Zune-like fashion.
Oh dear. That's not good news. We have a saying, we don't tell Zune about it, but if you do a Zune, then it's you know, doing something really fucked up and bad. Oh, I totally pulled the Zune when I murdered that child. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, I'm so Zuni. I just you know, ripped off the limbs of some innocent teenager and placed him on a frog just to see what fucking happened, you know.
Oh, I am so Zuni, I accidentally got everyone stabbed because I opened my mouth.
You're getting there. It's close.
Oh, I'm so Zuni, I killed a man who was just trying to help us.
That would never happen. That's too far.
Okay.
I
Wait. Oh, I did a Zune. I accidentally developed feelings for someone who may or may not reciprocate them, but really I'm not sure if I can actually continue in a relationship with them because her sister doesn't approve, and I'm not sure if we're compatible, and we are going in very separate directions.
Ooh, that is that's pretty fucking specific, mate. That's way too specific. Usually I keep it down to one, maybe two clauses, you know.
Okay.
Wait, are you?
I
look over suspiciously down at Zune.
Zune is like very asleep. Like Zune is KO. Zune.
Are you and Zune? Are you and Zune? Oh, wait. Is Gavin and Zune? Wait, am I and Zune? No, I'm not, and that's me. Kasna and Zune? No, not that I haven't thought about it, but no, weird, wrong. Who else? Who else is there?
Who else is there in this party that could potentially have feelings for one another?
There's Zune, there's you, there's Gavin, there's you. He's like going back between all of them and like matching all of them up. So there's a love triangle.
I can't.
Oh wait. Zune loves me and I love Gavin, right? And Gavin loves Zune. Oh.
Gavin's gonna wake up. There's a conspiracy wall stretching the whole cabin, just with like love triangles everywhere.
Am I right? What? Wait. You tell me. You can tell me. I'm gonna go fucking Tuscany. You can't. You can tell me.
Say there was somebody who had developed feelings that he wasn't sure he could admit to himself about someone else that he was traveling with. And say those two individuals ended up responsible for a surrogate child. And they also entered into a pact that bonded them together for life and death.
Not ringing any bells.
Well,
oh! Zune's made a deal with the devil.
Oddly, not too far from the truth.
She's
but
in
not
love
the
with
truth
some
I
kind of
was
devil.
alluding to.
Wait,
I wouldn't
me and
necessarily
me
call
and,
myself a devil.
oh, me and Kazna, we did sign something.
You did.
There was some litigation.
I'm not entirely sure you understand what that means, but I will humor you. Yes.
So we signed the. So you're saying that I have feelings for Kazna that I haven't spoken about?
I have feelings for Kazna that I haven't spoken about. Echoes in the room.
I can't lie. I have feelings. I don't have feelings for Kazna. I don't know what you mean. I think at this point it's pretty like they're pretty much kind of out, right? As a couple.
I mean,
No, at this point, I mean, I have kind of admitted that there's, you know, some shenanigans going on there, in and around the Hartle region, you know.
well, that is good.
Some
because
fucking cardiac feelings.
That is good, because otherwise it would be really awkward having to listen to her worry about where you were in prison.
Well, you know, I was worrying about where she was. Well, that's nice. She's thinking about me.
Yes.
That's nice. Was she with the kid?
The kid is there.
What's she wearing?
Too much for your tastes.
Damn it, that long dress goes down by the ankle. Fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Kazna dress. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
A funerary garb. Damn it.
You do realize that as much as you want to try and hide it, Zune is well aware of the situation.
I was pretty sure we'd hidden that, but yeah, no, she does catch on to things fairly quickly when I start talking about, you know, being with Kazna. I think that might have been
12 episodes later.
I think that might have been the giveaway.
But she doesn't know about the other thing.
No. No one needs to know about the other thing, though.
Well, it will be interesting to see how that develops over time if I live that long. Or if you indeed live that long.
You know, it's been a very long March. Soon it will be April. It's been going on for a while.
It's been coming for a long time. April is so...
Wow. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, you know, it's been going alright so far. When I say that, I mean everything's gotten more shit and more shit and more shit, but, you know, it's kind of deal where, you know, you kind of keep plowing through, don't you, when it's family.
I have something that I wanted to quickly ask you. You don't have
Likewise.
to,
But go ahead.
You said earlier on, jokingly, that Zune has made a deal with the devil.
Right. I say that a lot. I presume that one day it will be true.
Like you did.
Thought about that.
Do you think that one day you will be free of that deal? That one day you may walk away from the blood oath you made?
I don't know. You know, that feels like tomorrow's problem. You know, more pressing fucking issues right now.
Well, let's leave it for tomorrow and hope that it doesn't cost you as deeply as it did last time.
I do have one question for you before that, though. Been working on something, you know. Back from the Black Mountain, I had a friend of mine who was very good at making things. You know, he's a smith and all that, and he did not just weapons and all that. Actually, specialized in fine jewels and items like that. And well, picked up a bit of his trade along the way, you know, and made something that I was wondering if, you know, is acceptable. Do you mind if you take a look at it for me?
I will have a look at it. and I will tell you if it will fit.
I go into my probably my backpack is where he's keeping it. Actually, no. He's wearing it like Gregor actually like wears like a gold chain around his neck because he's gangster like that. But it's underneath all his armor. So he goes in like Frodo, and from out of his neck, he kind of pulls it off, and he's got like this. It's like molten gold because he's like vomited on it with his magma breath to like form this ring, like it is the One Ring right out of like pure magma. And so he draws out this pretty like crystalline magma ring with a diamond set onto it. Right in it.
It is quite a gem. I have answered your question. Here is one in return.
Okay.
With the devil has already cost you one wife. Can you afford to lose another?
It's not my wife. But also, we're kind of in this thing together, you know. Till death do we fucking part. That's kind of what the contract said. So, figured I might make that a verbal promise as well as a legal written contract one. So, it'll be fine. I don't worry about these things. You know, if I went along thinking like you my whole life, I'd be plagued with fucking self-doubt and worry all the time. Me, Gregor fucking Tuscanu, I don't worry about these things. I don't think about them, because it doesn't matter. In the end, if I think about one thing, it doesn't change what happens. You know, it's what I do that changes things. Thinking doesn't fucking get you anywhere, mate. Thinking gets you to where fucking Zune is. Look at her. You are feeding her your fucking fingers in a cavern in the Underdark. Me? I had some fucking beef jerky. That's the difference between me and Zune. I don't think about things. I do them. Good night. Oh, and if you tell anyone about this, I will fucking eviscerate all of your hands until you wish you had stumps. Because the things that I'll do to the bones and every fucking thing else. Unholy. Visceral.
So I will have zoomed up.
I will fucking zune you to the outer fucking rim. In Star Wars.
Is there a little pile of finger bones like after eating chicken wings next to Zoom?
Oh no, I would have consumed them whole because I need the bones and stuff.
Need that calcium.
Yeah.
Just checking.
So,
That's a disturbing imagery though. I like it.
Gregor rolls over there, to contemplate and for cinematic purposes drifts off into just a lazy nap.
A cinematic nap.
It is Gavin. Gavin, you awaken to find that you are the only one awake other than the one-eyed man. You're pretty sure that Gregor just kicked you awake, but he might have kicked you in his sleep. So there is a chance that you guys were all asleep at the same time, and he was the only one who was awake, which is a food for thought. But Zune is curled up in his lap, sort of resting her head, and he is very carefully and very gently stroking, not hair, because she's had most of her hair still growing back from being eviscerated and melted off by a dragon, but there is a slight fuzz, and it's just scratching the back of her, just behind her ear, and she seems pretty content.
Well, here we are, aren't we?
It would appear so.
It's amazing how one so troubled can still find peace in all of this. She has big plans. I'm sure you've seen.
I haven't dabbled too deep. Mostly, I have listened. And there is a great deal of her story that seems to revolve around her time with you and him and her sister.
Yes, I would say it's been a long something, but that line's already been used.
I got the one! I say in my
You
sleep.
got it. You got a good one too. The March, April, yeah.
Right.
But so Gavin just sort of looks. It's interesting. I don't know if she still, or if she even understands what she's making, the pact she's making. She sees it as all power and immortal life and her beautiful, terrible reign over the world.
Gavin, you are many things. And you are compassionate and understanding of a great many people. But sometimes you miss what is very obvious. It is not power she seeks. It is an escape. She lived most of her formative years under the oppressive yoke of a family name which was driving her to things she could neither comprehend nor achieve. She was indoctrinated from a young age to strive for something that was almost unimaginable. And now she sees it as a way to extend her life. And if she does, she has the opportunity to do what she wants to do. I'm not so sure she would make a dangerous, powerful overlord. Maybe she simply would like to experience the world free.
There are so many other ways, though, than this that she's chosen.
You are right, there are many other ways. Some people choose to live life as a hermit, live off of the land, travel. Others decide that they will go out into the world and do what they can for everybody. They put themselves out there as a hero of the people, looking only to help, to build, to console, to bring comfort. They spend their entire lives on a path to what?
Redeem.
Interesting. And yet there are those still who are willing to make deals with powers that they cannot begin to fathom because they have a vision of a better life. A life where they are not being oppressed. A life where they can choose their own fate. Where they can have all of the simple things that some people take for granted.
It's what everyone deserves.
asked her why she hasn't killed you yet.
I still have use to her, of course.
She brings a great deal of chaos and despair and destruction where she walks. But she is not stupid. So, she understands that she has lived her life looking at the world through a very narrow keyhole. Her words to me were that you opened doors for her to places she would not have thought to look.
We shall see. Just because they're open, it's still going to take her to step through.
There are two ways through any door. And you have walked along the threshold for quite some time. I'm curious. I've asked her because it is the obvious question, but the other obvious question is why you have not killed her. Her entire existence is an affront to your God.
Gods, both of them. As I said before, redemption. I've always felt I've always known that the doctrine and the texts and the teachings of the churches and the temples are the easy way. That's why I walk the world. That's why I continue to travel. He looks down. Yeah, I first lost a hand. I've now lost an arm. And yet I'm going to continue on, even if there's nothing left. Because judgment it's interesting. So many of Cuthbert's and my brothers are in zeal and judgment. But, you see, that's the easy way. When I first met my wife, a vampire, there was judgment. When I first encountered the Raven Queen, I felt I was doomed. And when I first met Zune, I knew I should probably kill her. She tests my resolve on that one practically every day. How many times have I brought her back? How many times could I have just walked away? But anyway, because that's the easy path.
A great man once told me you should do what is right and not what is easy. But I've spoken to many great men, and we have taken many a great man. And many a great person in my head have questions for you, but one that rises above all of them isn't a question, it's more of a statement. If redemption is so important, if she can't be saved, if someone who has made such deals to create a better life has slipped down the path as far as she has, cannot find redemption, what hope do you have?
That is, in fact, the correct question. I guess we will see, won't we?
I guess we shall. And as that conversation fades into contemplation, Zune finally flickers back to consciousness as Gavin explosively wakes up, sort of jarring awake from probably a pretty terrible nightmare.
Hey, Zune, no, get off me! How long is this? No,
I'm
not
not
there.
killing you.
Huh.
I'm not killing you.
I'm not gonna put that in there. What? Oh.
I'm not just destroying you. You were fine.
That was... I look at the stump as though like it's triggering me. Oh, okay. Hey,
I begin studying my spells immediately because
Just
it
having a-
takes me quite some time.
just having a dream about something completely unrelated. So, I'm gonna not look at you for a while soon.
So as you guys wake up, yeah, he's the one-eyed man is looking a little pale. He still needs help, but he's now missing sort of up to midway up his forearm, which is entirely, there's no, it looks like it's decayed because it is blue. It is tied off still, but he doesn't appear to be able to move it as well. But he's fed nearly half of it to Zune. The other arm is in much better, it needs setting.
Someone gotta...
So can I get the bone to grow back together with like a
A potion from Harry Potter.
a cure wounds? Does that work for knitting together a bone?
It would help.
I cast Grow Bone.
I cast a grow a bone.
I've cast that one a few times, Gav, let me tell you.
Gregor's the only one with that spell.
Seems to work pretty well for me. I cast that.
It has a material component. You don't want to know what it is.
Nope. Stop right there.
It's
You're
okay.
on Twitch.
Verbal sometimes works as well.
Verbal works sometimes. It's got an oral component. Nah. Funny. That oral. Tough room. Tough cavern.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he's there's next to nothing you're going to be able to do for the fact that he's half his arm is gone.
You rub his arm and you give him a bone.
But you would need to sort of pull the bone back into place, and then you could try healing sort of the wound after you've done that. So give me a medicine check to sort of reset the bone.
Okay. Oh, it's an at one.
Okay. You go to take.
Painfully reset the bone.
You pull and you feel his shoulder pop with that soft.
Oh, old man. Yeah.
And you feel like the bone slides back in, but it tears. There's fresh blood wells to the top pretty quickly. And he doesn't wince in any way. Doesn't seem to be bothered at all. But he looks down at his arm, looks at you, and sort of, feel like you owe me a favor for that collar, and I don't feel like this is you repaying that favor. He says, half smiling.
Well, here we are. So, you do a cure wounds on him for 6?
There is sort of beautiful golden energy pours over. It doesn't seem to seal like the actual wound up, but you see it sort of sink into his flesh, and he looks down at his arm and sort of flexes his fingers and lifts his arm up, and apart from sort of the fresh blood that's seeping up, he seems to have more use of it. He rolls his hand round, and I guess that will do, but
I'm afraid with where we're going, I don't want to. We just need to get you through. At the end of the day, night, wherever we are.
There is every chance that when you take me before them, I will be executed. So why waste so much magic in putting me back together if I am to be killed when I arrive?
I do not think you will be killed when you arrive. The city isn't too much havoc. Unless they're pointedly looking for you, I say as I'm flipping through my spell pages, kind of committing stuff to memory.
To a degree, they are. But they are looking for me as a way to find the people that took me, to better exterminate them. Something they now believe to have been achieved. They are also somewhat aware of your knowledge.
What do you mean? Because you are connected with the hive mind and you were conversing with us?
It is not possible for me to block out their intrusive methods. So there is some of what was said in the cavern before that was known to them. With all the chaos going on and with certain lack of chemicals, I find it hard to concentrate and keep them out. Rest assured, nothing that was said during this night has been spoken of there, and they most certainly do not know our current location.
That is assuring, but that still unfortunately means that we will have to part. The longer we are with you, the more we are in danger. Soon says with a kind of sad, cold, logical face.
It is the best course.
Can your abilities shield us from them?
It is possible if you remain incredibly close to them, to myself, that I can throw up a smoke screen. Essentially rambling loudly in the crowd and drowning out the noise that you make. It would be very taxing, and I would need to remain within arm's reach of you, no further. But I could certainly help you mask your comings and goings by anything other than the traditional method of being spotted.
That's going to get cumbersome.
But it means that he must stay with us.
Correct.
We will
Once
need...
we get into combat is where I'm talking, is trying to fight in such tight quarters.
I will keep him safe. I always take up the rear anyways. We will stay...
Too much shit. Oh, it's just had the dream. Oh god, no.
There is an alternative.
No.
I am no use to you like this. If you wish for me to be more effective, I would need something more sturdy.
I could find someone.
They need to be breathing.
That will make it slightly more difficult.
Find that helps.
How far are we from the city?
You are no more than half a day's travel.
Does it have to be human? Those lizards we rode were quite useful.
Oh, mine though. Mine
It
was
would
cool.
need to be humanoid.
Intelligence is important.
It was that.
It is
All those
more
fuckers back there on pogo sticks. They were not intelligent whatsoever. Barely human, most of them. I sound just like Zune. Oh god.
Oh,
I'm so proud
just
of
like
you.
the dream. Just like the dream.
Just like the dream. The
I
enslavement
worry
of
that
the
once
wits.
you are in another faculty, that you're... Well, you won't be so reserved about leaving and continuing on a rampage. What keeps you in this body is your desire for narcotics.
So?
Would that same desire thus transfer to another person, or would you not lose that once you left this body?
You just get the body high first.
There is a chemical imbalance in my brain. And that is the only part of me that would be transferring. It would still crave the same imbalance of chemicals.
Yeah, right, of
It's
course.
literally, he is a brain.
literally, his brain is all
He's in the brain.
So why don't we go and capture ourselves a humanoid, one that is probably sentenced to death so that Gavin doesn't feel the weight of the immortal god's conscience on his shoulders, and bring it back for you to live.
Sounds good to me. Get ourselves a body, thrust a fucking devil brain inside of it. Off we go. Sounds like a normal daily office for us.
It's the quickest we could get back to Kazna and Scab.
Let's do it. No. I see what you're doing, Zune, but yep.
The one-eyed man just sort of smirks slightly and looks at the ground. Just
Yeah, well, you know. It's a good way to get back. Got a couple of questions to ask, you know. Things to catch up on.
We don't even know where we are.
Questions to pop.
Yes.
That is the next
Can we
question.
get back to the Pyramid City, or do we need to go forward? Well, Kazna's behind us, along with Scab.
We're going back to the
Always
city
behind us.
regardless.
Actually, he can hear them, right? Are they in fact still back in the pyramid? Did they suffer the flood as well?
he frowns.
Ooh, yeah. Was it lower or higher than us? Did water go down their tunnel? The tunnel from the
Yeah, because there's different layers of the Underdark, right?
You weren't paying attention to that.
but brain.
He pauses. She is no longer in her cell.
That's my sister.
That might not
She
be.
is no longer.
Tricky one to keep tied down, trust me.
She is no longer within my sight.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Is that good news or bad? Yeah.
That means that she is no longer in a place where I can see, and I can see through almost every other citizen.
I go into spellcasting and cast scrying and try to find and see if there's a magical dampening finding my
Okay.
sister.
Do you? I mean, you have a very much a. You share a lot.
Ooh, I don't
you
have the components for this. I only have a 500 GP gem. Never mind.
Not true. You do have something that can cast that.
Yeah,
You were
do.
given it a very, very long time ago by a crazy man who appeared through a portal who gave you a giant fucking mirror.
Oh yeah. But I didn't carry that giant mirror on me. Because that was the one. Where would I have? Well, I took it with us on our
Actually,
journey, but is it in
We
your?
got the last one, dude.
What do you have? You do have holy water.
I've got holy water.
Yeah.
Mr. Fjordhammer, may I have some of your holy water?
I reach into my bag of holding and hand her a vial.
A font filled with holy
Yeah,
water.
you are going to need some. You are going to need an amount of holy water.
Stand by.
I'm just trying to think. I could take out my mess kit
3
and.
vials. Is that enough?
I tell you what, I will let you attempt it.
Okay, I put it in my mess
That's all
pot
I have.
because that's all we have. So a pot and some water, and I attempt to be the best spellcaster I can be. Do you want me to maybe make like an Arcana, or what do I have to? I have to roll anyways, right?
Yeah, you have to roll anyway. So it is, let me just see. So, target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is. If the target knows you're casting a spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily. It does.
Kazna, I don't think would ever want to be observed, but she
Nope.
might also be familiar with the scrying, so I don't know.
Okay, so you guys, you can give me a. I'm gonna make it you. Yeah, you're gonna have to roll. It's going to be a. I'll give you your intelligence. Give me an intelligence check, as that is your spellcasting modifier. Okay, right. Past the fact, do you have anything of hers between you? I'll let you all pull your resources. Do any of you have any of her stuff? Like anything that belongs to her?
Doesn't Gregor? Didn't she give something to Gregor at some point?
I've got a few bits.
The water skin?
Yeah.
The water skin
Yes.
was hers with
Her
the blood,
water
right?
skin with my blood in it.
I've got this water
It's her
skin here.
water skin that has my blood in it.
Okay. Do you add to the concoction that you are making to scry through?
Yeah, just
Perhaps it would.
careful with the contents.
Would it make sense to have some of the vampire blood in there?
No, it's my blood.
Yeah,
it's
does
it's your
Zune
blood.
know that it's Gavin's blood?
it's her dinner. Because I was the tastiest steak in the room.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe to add to the holy water vampire blood just to try to give it more volume, but I don't know. That's the only thing. I'm thinking liquid volume to cast the spell, but it won't help to be murky to see her.
This water skin here was hers. Don't look inside. It's just some bits. Just some special brew that I've been saving for a long time. Really dangerous stuff.
Yes, I'm quite familiar with your dwarven brew.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been wanking into it a lot. Don't open it up. Like Gregor's like so worried that they're gonna open it up and see that he's a vampire. So he's like, yeah, Ben, don't get into that. Yes, that's bad stuff. Oh, real strong.
You
Oh, wait, but okay. Ew. So I don't know if this counts,
okay?
but I don't know how to not.
I'm
Because-
all ears.
Well, she's drunk my blood, and we have my blood in the flask. So we've got her flask, and we've got my blood that is in her. Because I mean, she saw through my eyes and everything.
So much science.
That's true, and they're joined by a blood sword. You guys are joined by a blood sword. So
We never
there's
got it though.
but you don't know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
can I
never
attempt?
found- but Gavin doesn't know about the blood sword.
I don't know that this is Gavin's blood either, so I can't make that deduction.
But she also bit me to become a vampire. So she drank like a shit ton of my blood when she became a vampire.
How many of you aren't blood related?
She's got fucking everyone's blood.
We're
in
all
her.
blood
Harlot?
related.
She's got so many diseases.
Nipping off all the bottles.
So, how much blood? Whose and how much blood do you want to add to this?
So much hepatitis.
Like I said,
A little bit of it. Well, I don't know. See, I as Zune would love to, but I'm not privy to this information unless the two of you open your big mouth. As a player. So
Well, I guess the question is, I mean, if we're talking about sharing blood, you're her sister.
Yeah,
I'm thinking just the more different components, the better in this case, since we're so far strived from it. As
fucking
much
cooking pot of blood.
So,
a drop of everybody's blood, so to speak.
yeah, maybe we just do that. Maybe maybe our memory, we sort of can play it off as our memories.
Okay, all right. If that's
We're gonna
how
try
you
to
want
mix some. I'm a necromancer. I can weave into blood magic and other stuff, right?
Okay, all right.
We're doing it.
So everyone is going to sacrifice a little blood. You can all lose a hit point as you everyone around puts some of their own blood.
I crack my knuckles afterwards and begin casting.
Sazun, you are trying to. What are you trying to perceive? Are you trying to perceive her location? Are you trying to create a link to her? Like, what? How does it go? Ignore
I'm
the
just trying to
spell,
see where she is, because if there's a chance that she's been taken over by an illithid, trying to create a connection with her would be the worst possible thing, I figure. Just knowing that she's alive and well and where she is, and that's it. I just want to know that she's not dead, because he can't feel a connection to her anymore. She could be dead.
Okay, fantastic. So, I'm going to need a charisma saving throw from you.
Oh wait, that's just straight charisma check. My bad.
Oh, do you have?
Charisma save.
Yeah.
So,
Not quite as good.
Well, but same modifier.
soon you begin casting and you stare down into the pool, and the pool stares back into you, and the wispy clouds of blood that move around in the pool begin to make shapes, strange spiderweb-like shapes that spread outwards, and they form a pattern that you look into and you are focused on it. And as this happens, you become aware of certain things happening around you. You are aware that Gregor is incredibly loud. Gregor is very, very loud. And he clinks ever so slightly in his armor. But
This is knowing new information.
The clinks become softer and slower, and they echo through your mind. And beside you, you can hear Gavin sort of moving, slightly flexing, and sort of the leather in his clothing straining and rasping ever so slightly, and those rasps just stretch outwards and seem to slow and dull, and suddenly everything around you is very, very still. And you are looking down into a pool. You're unable to move, and you can see shapes moving through the water. And slowly around the edges of the water, you see bubbles begin to appear, and the water begins to shudder and move, and it begins to swirl. And in the center, these shapes form what looks to be a humanoid face devoid of feature, with no eyes, but you can feel it looking at you. And a voice in your head says, "So, that is where you are hiding."
You're muted.
We're going to cut there.
No!
There.
No!
God damn it!
I want to keep playing D&D.
I want to keep playing D&D.
Go to D&D.
I want to play more D&D.
Mom, I want to play more D&D again. We'll watch it in stream. Good, man.
That's awfully inconvenient.
That is...
No.
How many voices are there in our heads? It's not
He
good.
doesn't know. He doesn't know where we are. He's bluffing.
He's bluffing.
He's bluffing.
There was only a
Hey.
fucking comment to show where we fucking were. Like,
I wasn't trying to show him where we were. I was trying to see if my sister, your wife, is alive.
I
She's not
wonder
my
where
wife.
the I wonder where the encounter
Honestly,
roleplay lots are. Oh, there's a star.
There's a fucking comet falling from the sky.
Impacting you.
Wonder where
They're
those
probably-
Oh yeah,
guys
the
of
comet and
cosmic
the
chaos.
flood, they're probably right there. Like,
It literally pointed there. Cones fell around. Man, that was fun.
there's cones.
There's cones!
The wild magic surges today were just fucking awesome.
On
Thank
point.
you, chat. Like
On
those were nice.
Well played, my friends. Wow.
My cult is dead, but you know, short-lived.
It is
The
what it
Wizard
is.
of
That's
Oz?
probably for the best.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Draws. Well, guys, we're going to end tonight's episode of The Long March. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the follow button and join us. We'd love to hear from you guys what you thought of tonight's episode. If you had a favourite moment, let us know. We're going to be off tomorrow. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. And Will, your boy, is getting his romance on. And I actually have a dinner booking at, like, right in between both our shows tomorrow because I planned super well in advance for these things. So, taking tomorrow off, you guys will have a happy Valentine's Day on your own. We'll host some other channels and sure other people will be doing things. Losers!
Oh my god. I got wrecked. I got wrecked, dude.
Absolutely savaged her. But yeah, happy Galentine's Day. That's right, Galentine's Day today. Let's go around the cast and crew. We enjoy ourselves. Where can we find you guys online? Josh, what do you think of tonight's show, man?
It was genuinely. I'm so happy because like there's loads of different. I've made a load of stuff for this world, but one of my favorite creations genuinely was the One-Eyed Man, and I brought him from something completely different, and he sort of built into this character that I wasn't sure you'd ever meet, and now you have. I'm really glad you have. And then he nearly died instantly, and I was like, "Aw." But it's super cool. It's super fun. It's great when you get to play as cool NPCs and chat to the party. And I think I've got most of you pegged. I'm feeling pretty confident.
I like your psychology analysis today from the One-Eyed Man. That was very, very on point for all of us. I was a little disturbed at how deep into our psyches that you already are, but you are our DM, so...
Yeah, exactly. So that was an absolute blast. I just typed in ! gold in chat and found that I am a lich. I beat Laura Lania. I'm happy.
Winning.
Everything is...
I actually was a lich at one point and then descended back down to blood status.
So super excited, and I will. I'm gonna go off and plot more things and plant more spoopy messages in the brains of my players. In the meantime, I've been Encounter Josh. You can find me on Encounter Roleplay, doing Encounter Roleplay things. If you love seeing me and other twisted worlds and realms, you guys should check out the amazing Turncloaks. Equals Pequals, like one of the best episodes ever. Best title, just one of the best if you like NPCs, like it's I can't so much. It's so good. Just fucking embrace it with your face. There you go.
Do that. And whilst we're talking about podcasts, we just launched Tomes and Tentacles, Call of Cthulhu podcast. Also on the Encounter Roleplay Network, another weekly shows. You've got Turncloaks on Mondays, Tomes and Tentacles on Tuesdays, Wonder Quest Wednesdays. Tomes and Tentacles is doing really well on iTunes at the moment. We're number 4 in the US, we're number 6 in Canada, number 8 in the UK. Go blast us with some hot reviews over there. If you guys love Turncloaks, if you like Wonder Quest, go over there. You are sure to enjoy Tomes and Tentacles. Torn Squirrel, what do you think?
Woo, what fun. It was definitely interesting, and yay, surfing the worm kind of worked.
Surf the worm.
And I didn't die. I mean, the real big thing here, the big news of today is I didn't die because, I took some damage last time, and we didn't rest, and then I took some more damage, and we didn't rest, and then I took some more damage.
It's been a long time since I've had full spells. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had fun. If you want to find me out and about on the social media things, go to @TallSquall on Twitter, and my pinned post has links to all the other stuff that I do, including Turncloaks and Learn by Play, and the Vice, which is a campaign I DM for 100% for charity on Saturdays.
Dope. And Laura Lania.
I am Laura Lania, or my Tia Zimmer on Twitter, Laura Lania on Facebook, and pretty much everywhere else, I think. I play D&D, stream D&D full-time. You can watch me here on Twitch. I also dabble in Heroes of the Storm. And, I will hopefully check out Turncloaks, check out our cool dice sponsors, D and Dice.
Nailed it.
Yeah, they're great.
There you
Yeah, fucking great. Check them out. Check out the Patreon here so that you can keep awesome shows like this running. And thanks for all the wild magic surges today, guys. It fit in really well. Josh, you did a really good job of weaving those into the story as well. Like it worked really, really well. That's
Beautiful.
it for me. I had fun.
Beautiful. It was a lot of fun today. Look forward to next week. Same time next week, 5 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday for a long march. Not on tomorrow, so no Call of Cthulhu, no Sands of Zehir tomorrow, because Valentine's Day I'll be off, but I'll be back on Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, with Tales from a Twisted Tower, and then 4:30 p.m. Eastern for the Great Galleria of Grunrundi, the most alliterative day of Dungeons & Dragons you could ever hope for, my friends. Until then, enjoy the podcast. Try not to throw too many net ones. We're going to be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody! Bye!